the medical doctors will be upstanding as Professor Osahon Enebulele steps forward here to administer the physician's pledge. Doctor. Yes.
This pledge is for all physicians. So if you are not a physician, you can just take the seat. I solemnly pledge, recite after me, I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity, the health and well-being of my patients will be my first consideration. I will respect the autonomy and dignity for human life. Sorry, I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patients. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patients. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me, even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity, and in accordance with good medical practice. I will foster the honor and noble traditions of the medical profession. I will give to my teachers, colleagues, and students the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patients and the advancement of healthcare. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standards. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Thank you very much. You may take your seat now. Thank you. So, with your very sick, crave your indulgence to appreciate some of the eminent personalities here present. They have been appreciated, but I want to publicly do that, and for very good reason. First, I want to publicly acknowledge our father, His Eminence, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, CFR. I acknowledge him specially because he was one of the very early callers after my declaration as President-elect of the World Medical Association. Indeed, unlike some of us who sleep at those times, His Eminence, in the wee hours of that day, called me, and I was indeed extremely humbled. One of the very first Nigerians, and indeed a topmost Nigerian at that. Your Eminence, I will ever remain grateful to you. Thank you. When you have an intellectually compact and perspicacious physician with a redoubtable etiological clarity, like our keynote speaker of today, a man who has been severally noised abroad, what else can you have other than the very excellent outcomes we have today from his keynote address? Your Excellency, the Governor of Delta, You remain an icon to a lot of us. We appreciate you. And we pray God to protect us. Of course, it's been said severally that yes, he is a legal luminary. But of course, we know he associates even more with medical doctors than the legal practitioners. Your Excellency, sir, we will continue to appreciate you, Alhaji, Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwa, CFR. But let me inform Sokoto State enemy that His Excellency is not yet complete. There is a symbol that is supposed to be in front of His Excellency every time he goes out for a function. And that is the designation of his status as healthy living ambassador of Nigeria. So, Your Excellency, until you come with that, you are not yet complete. And that is to say that gives direct access to him by doctors in Sokoto State and anywhere in Nigeria. So that must be carried along with him, along with his official self. I recognize all others here, the chairman of the occasion, our president, Professor Innocent Uja, MNI, legislators here present, the Commissioner for Health, many other dignitaries, past presidents, and indeed delegates from all over the country. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will be very brief. First is to say that I bring you greetings from the other parts of Africa as the coordinator of the Coalition of African National Medical Associations. I also bring you greetings from the Commonwealth Medical Association, whose conference just ended last week. And of course, I bring you greetings from the World Medical Association. As the president-elect of the World Medical Association, indeed yesterday at our executive committee meeting of the World Medical Association, I had informed them that this meeting would be up, and I was told to convey their very warm greetings to the Nigerian Medical Association. Let me therefore use this opportunity quickly to profoundly appreciate every Nigerian doctor and every Nigerian who supported my aspiration, indeed our collective aspiration, to lead the global body of the global body of all physicians, the World Medical Association, and which, like you know, is happening for the very first time since the WMA was founded after the Second World War in September 1947. And so that is a dazzling opportunity which we all need to, of course, leverage upon to advance the opportunities in the healthcare industry, and of course, to advance the cause of our common humanity. Let me therefore pledge before you again that I will do nothing in the course of my administration of the World Medical Association to undermine the very strong confidence that you all have imposed in my leadership abilities and capabilities. But in doing that, I encourage each and every one of you to see it as a collective assignment. Because if we succeed, not only will the world succeed, but Africa will succeed, and indeed Nigeria would have succeeded, and NMA also would have succeeded. Let me therefore say that the teams for this conference have been aptly chosen, very apropos, and I'm happy that an excellent speaker like the Governor of Delta, our senior colleague, has been called upon to dutifully give concrete expression to the very, very serious issues encapsulated in the team and of course, the sub-team which was earlier discussed by Dr. Kobe. The COVID-19 pandemic, like you know, is still ravaging the world. It is not yet over. It is not yet over. As we thought we were going to, of course, see a better 2022, and I hope we'll still see a better 2022. The world is currently contending with a new virus, a new variant, which is known as the Omicron. And just like His Excellency said, there has been several knee-jerk responses, very unfortunately, to this new realization of the Omicron. Your Excellency, let me assure you that even in the African continent, and even within the Commonwealth, and just not even the World Medical Association, we have severally condemned those travel bans by those countries that perhaps think they can use that opportunity to push what we call a racialization of healthcare. At the level of the United Nations, during the 76th session I just had recently, I spoke preeminently on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly, on the issue of racism in global health. And I was very disappointed that just soon after that, several countries in Europe have again reminded us of some of those issues. And so we see those bans are very unscientific, very unjust, and of course, a perpetuation of racial injustice in global health. And I'm happy that the World Health Organization has also listened to us and have also issued a statement in that direction to condemn it. In the next couple of days, the World Medical Association will also issue a statement in that direction. But I put that just yesterday. So let me assure Your Excellency that we are trying to manage some of these issues. But again, we realize that the COVID-19 pandemic not only exposed the fragility, especially of African healthcare systems, but also increased, very unfortunately, the issue of health disparities, inequities, and inequality. And therefore, it means that there's still a lot more work to be done. And while appreciating the Nigerian government for shoring up its efforts in terms of infrastructural upgrade, like His Excellency said, we must prepare for the future and ensure that never again are we going to meet 4 or 5 public health laboratories in terms of instituting appropriate maintenance cultures to guarantee the sustainability of most of these humongous investments in the healthcare industry in Nigeria. Let me say, therefore, that we are very conscious of the need to address those health disparities, and that is why the issue of the social determinants enunciated by the keynote speaker is very key. The issue of universal health coverage is still there, unattained by most of African countries, and indeed low and middle income countries. Let us do a lot more to bridge the gap and ensure that even routine healthcare services, which were largely interrupted during this COVID-19 pandemic, is given a place of reckoning, even in future pandemics. The issue of human resource for health is also another issue that needs to be contended with if we must grapple with emerging and re-emerging challenges. Your Excellency, we have resolved to convoke a special human resource for health summit, hopefully in the next 6 months at the Commonwealth level. Because when we had our conference recently, it was clear that this was a cross-cutting issue. Yes, we talk about brain drain phenomenon in Nigeria, but even other countries within the Commonwealth are also facing the same thing. So what are the issues? We realize the push and pull factors. But there are other issues that need to also talk about the issue of compensation for every African economies. Because our African governments seem not to be astutely politically committed to the issue of human resource for health, very unfortunately. But we also need to be able to, of course, ensure that our health workers are not, exposed to what we may call phylactic conditions. And so we need to put the discussions and the conversations on the table. And so in that summit, sir, people like you will call upon to also come and expand the conversations to see how we can have a win-win situation for both the developing economies and also the developed economies without infringing on the international fundamental human rights of those who wish to apply their trade anywhere in the world. Let me therefore end by saying that I'm indeed pleased to be here in your midst. Please see me as your servant, that you can always send messages, even at the international level. I therefore want to thank you once again for admitting me into your hallowed presence, and to say that I wish you very, very, very exciting conference, next meeting, and we look forward excitedly to the resolutions that will come out from this National Executive Council, to the glory of not only the Nigerian Medical Association, but the glory of Nigeria, the glory of Africa, the glory of the Commonwealth, and of course the glory of the world. Thank you very much for this opportunity. God bless you.